Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Nate, and I am doing a follow-up video to the CAAD 13. It has slightly been modded since the first video where it was mostly stock. And today's video, I just want to briefly talk about why I personally feel that this is probably the best bike that you can buy under $5,000 if you're doing any type of competitive riding and you want to buy something new. So let's get into it. So the last time I talked about this bike, right? I had the stockish wheels on it. As you can see, I got the Windspace Hyper. Don't mind my pup in the background, he's just chilling. But I got the Windspace Hyper 38s on it. The stock brakes are on it. I still have the zip stem on it, and everything is pretty much still standard with the exception of the wheels and the stem. But I do believe that this is probably the best bike you can get under $5,000 if you're racing or doing fast group rides and so on. And allow me to explain. So this bike, for me, I find it a lot more comfortable than my Evo. For whatever reason, my Evo is super stiff. That high modulus carbon fiber is very rigid. And then on top of it, if you put a very rigid set of rims on it, like these Windspace Hypers were on the Evo, I had to take them off because these wheels are like among the stiffest you can buy. So that stiff frame with these stiff wheels, it just made for a very jarring ride, and I didn't personally care for it. So I took the Windspace Hyper 38s, which are very stiff, and I put them on this CAAD 13 frame just to give it a little bit more of an edge as far as like power transfer. And now it's pretty much perfect. As you know, wheels have different properties, deflection properties. Some wheels are stiffer than others. The Windspace Hyper wheels are extremely stiff. I recommend them if you're running any type of flexi frame, like a low-end carbon frame, or even some aluminum frames that have a little bit too much compliance dialed in. So Windspace Hypers are installed. They have ceramic bearings in them, so they actually spin forever. Like, check this out. These things will just literally spin forever. They're amazing ones. So I'm gonna stop that, put it back down. They got ceramic bearings in them. And right now, I'm running Continental GP 5000 set up tubeless in size 25C. And I have about 50 milliliters of sealant in each rim. So all in all, and as you know, the Windspace Hyper 38s are very light. They're about 1,400 grams per set. The Continental tires are a little bit heavier than other tires like Vittoria's and so on. But, they have very low rolling resistance properties, as most of you know. So it's a superb tire. Right now, the bike weighs 18 3/4 pounds, bone stock, and with these rims and Conti's set up tubeless. Now, why do I feel that it's the best bike you can buy competitively? Well, the truth of the matter is, let's look at the price of the bike. This thing retails for $22.99, and it is, even though that's the MSRP, dealers actually let them go for cheaper. I've seen some dealers let them go for like $1,900. So let's just say the bike is $2,200 out the door, okay? Now, you got a lot more money to play with. The Windspace Hypers were $1,100 to my door. And actually, there's so many discount codes out there, you can save about $100 on them. So let's say you can get the Windspace Hypers for $1,000. So now you're at $3,200 for a stock CAAD 13 and Windspace Hypers, right? Now, my pedals, these are the top of the line Look Keo carbon tie ceramic pedals. Those are $400 pedals, and they're only 180 grams. They're extremely light. Most Shimano pedals are 250 grams to over 300 grams. I pulled these off the Evo because I'm running the 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 Favero Asioma power meter pedals on the Evo right now. So these pedals I want on the Evo, I put it on this bike. So let's just say you wanted the lightest pedals you can buy. You bought these. It's another $400. Now you're at $3,600, right? Now at $3,600, you got a bike that's 18.75 pounds. And that's not bad. That's not bad. Now, what other bike can you get with carbon wheels in that weight range for $3,600? Think about it for a sec. Not many. You might be able to get carbon by entry level. I mean, maybe a TCR Advanced is in the ballpark, and that's a solid bike. But actually, that's a great bike. That would probably be the only other one that I would recommend. I don't really know their specs by heart, but I know that they have good bikes within the $3,000 to $4,000 range that you can get. Okay, now here's the thing with this one. If you wanted to make this lighter, right, you could get a lightweight saddle for $200. That'll be a quarter pound lighter than that. You can get a carbon seat post, right? That'll save another quarter pound. You can get carbon handlebars. That will save half a pound, right? So let's say all of that is another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say the $700. So $3,600 plus $700 is $4,300. Now you're at $4,300, and now your bike is 17.75 pounds, right? So we were at 18.75 pounds, and now with the seat post, the saddle, and carbon bars, now we're at 17.75 pounds. Now, to take this to the next level, you can go used SRAM red mechanical, which is crazy, right? If you get a used SRAM red mechanical for between $1,000 and $1,500, and I've seen them out there for cheap because everybody's going electric, that will take this bike now from the 17.75 to at least another pound off. So now you're under 17 pounds. So you're at about, what was I at? I was at $4,300, 43, so $5,300, and you got a thoroughbred that's, let's just say 55. Let's make it a nice round number, $5,500, and you got a bike that's 16.75 pounds, fully kitted out, bottle cage, pedals, and the works, with sealant in your tires. That's not bad. That is not bad for $5,500. Right now, if you think about, I'm going to give you an example. You think about something like the Madone SL6. That's carbon. It's $5,000, but the bike is almost 20 pounds. It's almost 20 pounds. You're only paying for the aero and maybe the ISO speed. It's kind of pointless, honestly. And you're just getting a heavy bike with very low spec, right? I feel like this is the way to go. It's aluminum, so it's more durable. It's crash proof, sans the fork. Obviously the fork is carbon. It's crash proof, it's durable, it's fast, it's got truncated airfoil tubes, D-shaped tubes. Honestly, if you got a $5,000 budget and you want to go racing, it should be this or the LA Sprint. Period. That's just my opinion, but I do feel strongly about it. The other thing is, like I said, the TCR is a good bike. If you get a carbon bike under $5,000, I guess the TCR, you are getting the most for your money, and they come with carbon wheels, and I think some of them may even come with a power commander power commander. Sorry guys, power commanders are in the motorcycle world. Power meters. It comes with a power meter and in-house built carbon wheels. So if you're gonna go carbon, I would go TCR. But if you want something that will survive a crit crash, and you guys seen, I've already been in one this season, you definitely want to be on this or the LA Sprint. And the LA Sprints are very popular. You know, I think for every race I get in, I see about for every 50 riders, I see about eight LA Sprints. They're that common because everyone knows that they're just great bikes, and I think there might be a little more aero than this. You know, as far as like wind cheating properties, not much, but it's definitely got some more aggressive shapes. I think ultimately though, if you build them both to the hilt, this will ultimately be lighter than an LA Sprint. So look, that's my 2 cents. I think, look, if you got $5,000, I think it's better to build up one of these than to blow your whole wad on like an entry level Madone, or some of these other entry level carbon offerings. You look at like the SL6 comp. I mean, it's for me, that's trash. It's $2,600 with Tiagra. Like, what was Specialized thinking? Seriously, what were they thinking? $2,600 for a Tiagra bike and a low spec carbon frame. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I think that hands down a CAAD 13. And I getting quite a few comments on this, and a lot of guys kind of wanted a follow-up video. Man, you get a CAAD 13. You don't even got to go with wind space. You got a lot of wheels now. I mean, I see wheels all the time on eBay. Check Pro's Closet. You can get good quality carbon wheel sets around $1,000 that are just fantastic wheels that will lighten the weight of the bike. I just happen to go with wind space because they come with ceramic bearings. I'm a big fan of ceramic bearings, and I just didn't want to have to do the work and put the bearings in myself by going with another brand. And so they come with bladed spokes. This is a solid package. CAAD 13 it's got 2 positions for the water bottle. So right now it's in a lower, more aero position. The only thing that I would say, man, is, at some point, if I do get ready to upgrade this, it'll be the group set. And maybe I'll change that saddle out, and maybe I'll go carbon seat posts. I have a spare set of carbon handlebars that I can just put in. So, if this is not your one and only, and you have other bikes, but you're just looking for a rain racer, bad road bike, or, bike that can take on all types of pavement, bumpy pavement, a bike that you can commute on. That's another thing. If you're looking for something that is like gonna be your one and only, and it's something you're gonna beat up a lot and you want to race on, but you commute on it, you may want to go off-road it a little bit, and you're hard pressed to find anything that's better than this. Look, take it from a guy that's got a System 6 high mod and a Super 6 Evo high mod. I've got a steel bike in the basement. My wife's got a couple of bikes. Like, take it from me. I've owned quite a few bikes, and this is probably my second favorite of all time. I love my System 6. I just love the wind cheating capabilities of the System 6. But this right here is no joke. Trust me, guys, it's no joke. Also, before I end this quick video, a lot of guys, they're fans of the older ones with the round tubes, and a lot of guys still like rim brakes. And look, the rim brake CAAD 10 can be built. I think I saw one as light as 14, almost 15 pounds at one point. It was a crazy build. Look, I get it. You can make those, you can take those even to the next level as far as weight is concerned. But look, at the end of the day, those drop C stays, they make the bike so much more compliant. It's really no comparison. There's no such thing as a rough ride on this thing. I bought this bike, and literally within a week, I did a century on it. And then the following week, I did another century on it. It's that comfortable. I wasn't even in shape when I did those centuries. And I'm telling you guys, this thing is so compliant, and it's fast. It descends well. Climbing, the way I had it in stock, trim, it wasn't like as responsive, obviously. But I'm gonna take this thing on some climbs with these wheels and see how it feels. It should definitely be a lot more responsive. but you are hard pressed to beat this with any brand new offering at a $5,000 price point. You want to beat this, you got to really spend 7,500 to 8 plus, 7,500 plus, and then you get in the cream of the crop, right? Then you get in Ultegra Di2 with good frames and good carbon wheel sets come with those bikes. Then you're talking, but something that you can get and gradually build up to it. You know, maybe you're on a budget, you don't got the money to splurge all at once. You can get this, man, and you're fast out the gate. The other thing is you can do what I did, right? I had some Vision Metron Team 30 wheels. There's also the Trimax 30 and the Trimax 35. Those are aluminum wheels that are semi-aero. They're like 30 and 35 millimeters deep, and they're only $500. They're a little bit heavy. The Trimax 30s are 1,600 grams and the Team 30s are 1,900 grams. They're heavy, but they come with bladed spokes. They do have ceramic bearing kits for those wheels as well. And for $500, you got a semi-aero wheel set that's almost as deep as these Windspace Hyper wheels that you're looking at. So you got options, you know, and you can just build up gradually. You don't got to splurge, you know. If you got $3,000, cop one of these, get rid of the stock wheels, right? Sell those for $100. Get some Vision Team 30s or some Trimax 30 for $500, and bro, you can enter races straight away. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I just wanted to do this quick update to the CAAD 13. Maybe I'll bring you guys a little bit in for a quick close-up just so you can see the wheels. Those Windspace wheels are no joke, man. Carbon tie ceramic, you know. These weren't cheap, man, but they're worth it. I noticed that when I'm racing, I don't put as much power on these, which is why I don't race on these anymore. But for just regular rides or days I'm gonna be climbing, and I want the weight savings, can't beat it. Can't beat it. 18.75 pounds with the bottle cage, with this heavy Garmin mount, and with pedals mounted, with this heavy saddle. and I mean, it's dope. It's dope, guys. Don't sleep. Don't sleep on this bike. Really give it, if you're in the market, give it some really strong consideration. I think you will love it. I think you will love it. I think most of the guys that know. Guys that ride Cannondale know that this is a sleeper. It is a straight up sleeper. It does everything well, and not for nothing, I'm within the same minute on 10-mile segments on this bike as I am on my Evo. So that's saying something. I'm like, with 30 seconds off over 10 miles compared to my Evo for similar power. And so that's real data for you guys. Hey guys, so I am back and I'm just sharing my screen. I just wanted to kind of just support what I was just saying about the CAAD 13 in part one of this video. So I'm gonna get right into it. So I forget the budget, but I guess the budget was $5,000, and fully kitted out, you got a CAAD 13 that's 17 pounds or slightly under, with the carbon wheels, SRAM red, mechanical, carbon seat posts, saddle, and carbon handlebars, with some Windspace wheels. And $5,000, you got a bike 17 pounds, slightly under maybe, set up tubeless. I think that's money well spent. So let's get into why. So take a look at some of these offerings from some of the other manufacturers. Specialized Tarmac SL7 Comp, SRAM Rival. This is SRAM's entry-level group set. Meanwhile, yeah, sure, it's electronic, but SRAM Red mechanical is probably much better than SRAM Rival electronic. I'm sorry, guys. Just the hassle of having two batteries. SRAM Red's still going to be lighter, even though it's mechanical, and it's probably going to shift just as crisp, if not even more crisp. Specialized, before I even get into the weight, you got the alloy rims here, you got a non-aero bar. Specialized won't even list the weight of this bike on the website. I actually found that this guy GC Performance weighed without pedals, 18 pounds. 18 pounds, bone stock, tarmac SL7 comp. 18 pounds. You're under 17 pounds already with a better wheel set and a better drivetrain. I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. So scratch this one off. Now let's look at the Amanda. This is Trek's offering, right? Amanda SL6 ETAP, $48.99. Sure, you're getting the benefits of an electronic group set. For me personally, the best thing about these bikes are the paint job. You got some entry-level carbon wheels, but I just don't understand where the weight of these components is coming from, right? Now, let's scroll all the way down. Let's look at the weight, right? For all you weight weenies out there, 19.16 pounds. That's without pedals, without bottle cage, without your Garmin mount. Like, this is an unfinished bike and you're already over 19 pounds. You're looking at 20 pounds, $5,000. You could do much better. I mean, honestly, your bone stock CAAD 13 was lighter than that, or just about the same weight. No, it actually was, yeah, it's about the same weight for literally more than half the cost less, right? Let's look at the Madone, right? You want to go aero. Aero is faster, right? Well, maybe not. This is the SL6, $46.99. I mean, nice chunk of change, right? You got some deep wheels. What are, those might be like 48 millimeters. All right, so you got some aero advantage. You got the aero tube shapes. But I don't think the bar on this is aero. I can't really see it from here. Actually, let me go through the pics. Nah, that ain't an aero bar. So you're not even getting an aero bar. You got ISO speed, so it's comfortable, right? Let's go down. Let's see how much this bike weighs. And this is 19 pounds. Same thing. It's heavy. It's the Amanda was supposed to be Trek's lightweight offering, and it was. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. And if I back up and I go to the SL7, another thing I don't like about the SL7, this is 10R carbon, right? The Venge was 11R carbon, and the S-Works SL7 is 12R carbon. Do you know what the last bike to be 10R carbon was, if I'm not mistaken? I already looked it up for you. It was the 2013, that first gen Venge. I actually used to own one right here. And this was 10R carbon. And you know what they did to make this thing stiff? Look at how wide those tube shapes are. Specialized needed to keep this bike stiff with their 10R carbon. And sure, they made it aero for the time, right? They weren't fully D-shaped back then. But they tried to make it aero, and then they used extra material to make it stiff. So you're using 10R carbon layup method, or whatever they call it, and this is nowhere near as rigid looking as the Avenge. I mean, this thing is probably a noodle under the sprints. I wouldn't imagine whoever you guys that are buying this and you didn't go S-Works if you're losing bunch sprints all over the place. Seriously, because when I had my first gen Venge, I could even feel some flex, and I'm big. I'm over 200. I'm like 212 right now, and I'm putting out like maybe 1,300 watts on my best day. I'm not even really that strong. Some guys 14, 15, 1,600 watts, and I was flexing that bottom bracket. I was flexing it with 10R carbon on these big tubes. So there's no way like I was personally gonna buy this 10R carbon. I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed in Specialized for this. At least an 11R carbon layup. Get a little bit more rigidity in there. And I mean, $5,000, and you can't give me like a 40 mil carbon wheel. Like I just don't understand it. I think even the Amanda, they give you like carbon wheels at this price point, like an entry level carbon wheel set. Like, and Specialized really took the cheap way out. The Madone, I mean, it's beautiful. If you're buying just for aesthetics, then yeah, you know. But if you're looking to like stretch your money well spent, you know what, man? Like I said, that CAAD 13 and even that LA Sprint by Specialized. And I get to give Specialized credit with. I'm a big Specialized fan. I've owned a few of them. I love their LA Sprint. I think that and the CAAD 13 are the best bikes you can buy $5,000 and under, bar none. With the exception of obviously the Giant TCR. I mean, this is an amazing bike. Giant has been known, the Giant TCR has been known in years past to have the best stiffness to weight ratio. I don't know if there's any more recent data published on that, whether it's independent, third party, or by Giant, but I would imagine they haven't gone backwards, right? So you're getting an entry level wheel set, you're getting a decent frame with airfoil tube shapes. All right, you're not getting the external cable routing, you're not getting the aero bar, but it looks to be a solid bike. I don't know how much this thing weighs. I don't think Giant published it either. But I can't imagine it being that heavy. If I were to guess, I would say it's probably in the ballpark of 18 pounds. I'm not going to beat up on them too much because you're getting a power meter with this thing as well. Actually, you don't get the power meter with this version. I think you get the power meter with the SRAM version. Someone will have to fact check me on that. But this is an amazing bike for the price, and you got a hint of aero in there too. The only thing is, obviously, durability. It still loses out to the CAAD 13, which is a lot more durable. And they're running conventional rear diamond. They're not running the drop stays in the back. So it's possible that CAAD 13 is still more compliant than even this bike. But this bike may be the racier of the two. So look, if you get this bike, I'm gonna give you a pass. I think this is probably the best carbon bike that you can buy, $5,000 and under. But for thrashability and overall capability, I'm going with CAAD 13, LA Sprint, and then maybe this. So I'm gonna leave you with this, guys. Obviously, I can pull up all the brands and go through their entry-level bikes, and it would just be a repetitive theme. So I'm not gonna do that. But trust me, I've done my homework on this, and that CAAD 13 is a world beater. You really can't go wrong with the CAAD 13. It's easily upgradable. It'll stand the test of time. You'll crash it, you won't break it. You scratch it, you can touch it up with some nail polish or whatever y'all do. And mine's been great. I'm a huge fan of it. I didn't think I would like it as much. And I'm not brand loyal. I do own nothing but Cannondales right now, but I've owned Specialized before. I've owned a Trek in the past. And, I might even own some other brands in the future. We'll see. But, I'm just calling it based on how I see it. And I've done 15 races this season. I've seen a lot of bikes in action. I've raced against a lot of bikes. I've seen them up close. I've seen bikes, how well they crash. And I've got a chance to just kind of mingle a little bit and see how people feel about their setups. And, one guy, he was cleaning up at the races with an upgraded CAAD 10 this year. So, anything CAAD by Cannondale is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And if you can get one for even under $2,000, $1,500, I mean, you're still ahead of the curve. You had like a CAAD 10 or whatever, and you just upgraded it, man. You still got a solid bike. You don't even need to go 13, especially if you're a fan of the rim brakes. I think they made the CAAD 13 and rim brake also, so you don't even have to go disc. You can still get a good package. I think the CAAD 13 rim brake was like $1,800. It was even cheaper than the disc version. So that's my spiel for today on the CAAD 13. Well, I think it's the king of the world at $5,000 and under, with the exception of maybe the Giant TCR Advanced Pro Disc 1, which is also solid. I've ridden one of my buddies. He's raced. I've got to see this bike up close. Also kitted with wind space, and he did a really good job with the bike. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this clip. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Thanks again for watching, and till next time.